This is a small aquarium that is kept at my home. I hope, just like me, most of you have fish tanks or aquariums at home. It is so fascinating to watch these tiny fishes swarming in the water. Now, an aquarium is a replica of life in the ocean. Now, let us dive deep into the oceans to know about the aquatic life. In oceans, we know small fishes, large fishes, turtles, corals, etc. live. All these species and animals are interdependent on each other. For instance, the small fishes are eaten by large fishes. Again, the small fishes eat aquatic plants. These plants in turn make their food by absorbing sunlight. The fishes also absorb nutrients and other minerals present in water. Now, we can see that the animals live in harmony with nature and there is a mutual dependence between the animals and their physical environment. This mutual dependence between the living organisms and their physical environment is known as ecosystem. So, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem refers to a community of living organisms where they interact among themselves and with their physical environment. Now, in the previous video, the mutual dependence that we saw between aquatic animals and the aquatic environment refers to marine ecosystem. So, this picture depicts marine ecosystem. Now, this mutual dependence between living organisms and their physical environment is also observed in terrestrial life. So, this picture depicts terrestrial ecosystem. So, in an ecosystem, we can see that the living organisms interact with their physical environment. Now, if I ask you to segregate different components of an ecosystem, how will you do it? Well, in an ecosystem, we can generally find two components, one living and other one non-living. Now, the living organisms of an ecosystem includes birds, fishes, animals, trees, etc. Whereas the non-living components of an ecosystem include soil, air, water, and even sunlight. So, these are the non-living components of an ecosystem and these are the living components of an ecosystem. Now, the living components or the living organisms of an ecosystem are referred to as biotic components, whereas the non-living components of an ecosystem are referred to as abiotic components. So, biotic means living, whereas non-abiotic means non-living. So, we can classify different components of an ecosystem into two parts, biotic and abiotic. Now, these biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem always interact among themselves and there is a mutual dependence between them. Now, before we proceed with our lesson, let us try to answer this question. Identify a biotic component of the ecosystem. Is it water, soil, plants or air? What do you think? Yes, the correct answer is plants. Well, plants are living organisms and they live, grow and survive. So, plant is the biotic component of the ecosystem while the rest are abiotic components. In this video, we can see a balanced ecosystem. In a balanced ecosystem, all the species, that is the living organisms, interact among themselves, and they also interact with their physical environment, that is with the abiotic components of the ecosystem. And there is also a mutual dependence between the biotic and the abiotic components. For instance, the living organisms depend on plants for food and shelter. The plants in turn absorb sunlight and air from nature and they make food. These plants are again eaten by animals. So we can see that there is a mutual dependence between biotic and abiotic components in a balanced ecosystem. Now, uninterrupted indulgence of human beings in an ecosystem is disturbing the natural balance. For instance, due to reckless cutting down of trees or deforestation is leading to loss of habitat and food for animals. As a result, deforestation is in turn leading to extinction of species. Also, other natural resources like soil, water, forest, etc. are being overused and they are being littered with garbage. Thus, we can see that in this video, the entire balance of the ecosystem has been destroyed. Now, let me tell you that each component of an ecosystem like soil, air, water, plants, etc. are like the pillars of a building. So, if any one of these pillars are being removed, then the entire ecosystem will collapse. So, now let us see how human activities is harming the environment. Look what we have done to our Mother Earth. She has lost all her beauty. The rainforests are being cleared off to provide land for agriculture. Also, the Earth's surface is being digged to extract minerals. To promote trade and other activities, there has been massive increase in infrastructural development. Instead of green trees, the earth is now covered with tall buildings. Also, the land surface of the earth is being overcrowded with more number of people. This increased number of people is generating huge amount of waste like toxic gases, plastic, garbage, etc. which are being dumped on the earth's surface. Thus, our Mother Earth is becoming unclean and uninhabitable. So in the previous video, we saw how human beings are making our Mother Earth filthy and uninhabitable. In the first two pictures, we can see that white, dense, greyish fumes are coming out of automobiles and industries. Now, in this picture, we can see that solid waste like garbage, plastics, bottles, etc. has been dumped on open ground. In this picture, we can see that the pipes are discharging dirty black water into the rivers. So from these pictures, you can very well understand that the human beings are dumping unwanted elements on the earth's surface and they are degrading the quality of the environment. Now, can you tell me what is this situation called? The degradation in the quality of environment due to dumping of waste is known as pollution. So what is pollution? Pollution refers to the contamination of environment due to addition or introduction of toxic and hazardous substances into it. Now, as we can see in these pictures, pollution is mainly caused due to human activities. Although pollution is mostly common in urban centers, but now it is a global problem because due to increase in the level of pollution, it has spread to remote parts of the world where no people live. Thus, nowadays, pollution is becoming a serious concern. Now, we know that the environment become polluted due to introduction of toxic substances in it. Now, can you tell me what are these toxic substances called? The toxic substances or the unwanted elements that pollute the environment are known as pollutants. So pollutants are toxic and hazardous substances or chemicals that degrade the quality of the environment and pollute it. So these pollutants degrade the quality of the environment and cause undesirable changes in the quality of air, water, soil, etc. Now, pollutants can be mainly found in three states: solid, gas and liquid. Now, gaseous waste mainly include toxic gases released by vehicles and industries. Now, solid waste mostly includes plastic, thermocols, glass bottles, metals, garbage, etc. It also includes leftover fruits, paper cuttings, wood cuttings, etc. Now, liquid waste include sewage, agricultural runoffs, industrial discharges, etc. Now, we must understand that all these pollutants that are unwanted to us are also undesirable for the environment and they pollute the environment. We generate a lot of waste intentionally or unintentionally in our everyday lives. These waste include leftover food, paper waste, old newspapers, old books. They also include glass bottles, plastic cups, thermocol plates and other disposable items. Now, these wastes are disposed by us because they are unwanted by us. Now, all these wastes are pollutants because they are also undesirable for our Mother Earth. Now, the nature of these wastes or these pollutants are not the same. This is because there are some waste that can be decomposed easily, while there are other waste that are difficult to decompose. So on the basis of this, we can classify the pollutants into two types. So on the basis of the nature of decomposition, the pollutants can be classified into two types, and they are biodegradable pollutants and non-degradable pollutants. The biodegradable pollutants are the ones that can be decomposed very easily by microorganisms, and after decomposition these wastes are mixed with the earth's surface. So eventually there are no traces of these wastes on the earth's surface, while non-degradable pollutants are not easily decomposed by microorganisms or by any other chemical agents. So these pollutants remain on the earth's surface for long, and nature is also incapable of eliminating these waste. Now, biodegradable pollutants include leftover food, paper waste, wood cuttings, etc. Whereas non-degradable pollutants include glass bottles, plastic cups, thermocol plates, etc. Now, although the nature of these two wastes differ, but both of these wastes are considered as pollutants and they are harmful for our environment. So we must try to limit producing these wastes so that they do not pollute our environment. So in today's video, we first understood the concept of ecosystem, and then we learnt about two different components of ecosystem, and then we saw how human activities is causing imbalance in the ecosystem and it is in turn polluting the ecosystem. Then we learnt about pollution and the major pollutants. We learned that pollutants can be classified into two types as biodegradable pollutants and non-degradable pollutants. In our next video, we will discuss about different types of pollution. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers or to get access to our 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million+ questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubt resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, but it's rewarding too. So register for free now.